Now we know that in a heterozygous individual, both the alleles are not the same, they are different. For example, at point P, the gene present is controlling the color of his skin. For example, W for white and small w, which is recessive. Now this is a capital W and the one above Q is a small w. In a heterozygous individual, the type of gene would be same, but it would be of a different allele because it is a heterozygous individual. A heterozygous does not have the same genes. They have different, not the same alleles, they have different alleles. So the type of gene would be same, but they would be of a different allele. So let's look at the options. A different allele of a different gene. This is incorrect. The gene is same. A different allele of the same gene. Yes, this is correct. A different gene, no. Same gene of a same allele, no. This is a different allele. Now, moving on. Question 38. The table shows variation in foot length in a number of students. Now we are given various foot lengths and various number of students as well, which identifies this type of variation and states its cause. Now we know that so many intermediate forms can be seen over here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 forms of this can be seen, and when so many forms of intermediates are present, it is always continuous variation. It has to be the one of them, and we know continuous variation is affected both by genes and the environment, because if a child faces malnutrition, he will not get full growth, thus his growth would also be affected. So it is A, which is the correct option, because it is a continuous variation because of the presence of many intermediates, and continuous variation is affected both by genes and the environment. The color of the fruit of tomato plants is determined by alleles of the same gene. A tomato plant with red fruit was crossed with a tomato plant with yellow fruit. Of the offsprings, 26 plants had red and 24 had yellow fruit. 3 explanations were suggested. Alright, both parents were... Now, let me explain this question. Now, both parents were homozygous. One parent had 2 recessive alleles. One parent was heterozygous. Now, if a tomato has 2 colors, one has to be dominant and the other has to be recessive. So one parent will have both recessive alleles and the other will have either one dominant. So the possibilities for the other one are either homozygous, which includes both being capital, or heterozygous, one capital and one small. Now as we know, when a homozygous dominant is crossed with a homozygous recessive, the ratio of offspring produced phenotypically are 3:1. So there would be a lot more red than yellow plants fruits produced. But we can see they are almost equal, 26 to 24. It means that a heterozygous plant was crossed with a homozygous recessive. That's the only reason the ratio produced was so close. So the answer to this question, what we can easily see, is D part, which includes both 2 and 3. Because the parent had 2 recessive alleles, because one of the colors has to be recessive, and recessive is only shown when both genes are recessive, alleles are recessive, and one parent had to be heterozygous, or else a big difference would be produced. Like for example, 3:1, 3 would be the ratio of red and 1 would be the ratio of yellow plant fruits produced if one of the parents was homozygous dominant. So D is the correct answer. If both parents were homozygous, then 3:1 would be produced. So 1 is incorrect and 2 and 3 are correct. Diabetes may be treated using insulin from genetic engineering. Where is this insulin produced? Bacterial cytoplasm, bacterial nucleus, human liver, human pancreas. Now we know that in genetic engineering, now what we basically do in genetic engineering, we take the plasmid of a bacteria, we cut it, and we add the gene which produces insulin. For example, this is the cut plasmid, then we add this gene which produces insulin. So basically insulin is being produced by the bacterial nucleus. So B is the correct answer.